Carl and Brendan here from Games, Brains and Headbanging Life, gbhblofficial for shortest reaction time as we are taking a look at the third pillar from Ghosts of Atlantis' debut album, 3.6.2.4, released March 26. I mention all this because we, as of the time of recording, only have 8 albums in our entire album review list this year that have been given 10 out of 10. We're talking almost 200 albums reviewed already this year, and only 8 of them have been given 10 out of 10. One of them, the only one to come from Brendan, is this album. So that speaks fucking volumes. Why'd you love this album so much?
Because it's good. Like it's got a lot going on. I mean, I'm hoping that, when you kind of hear it from the reaction perspective, that you'll see the same sort of things I did. I mean, it came to us, to check it out. And I guess the initial interest in checking it out really came from the fact that it was Colin Park's new band. Colin Park's being a guy that we've covered on the site, mainly through his work with, say, Devilment and things like that. So I was very, very interested in it. And I was also interested in the kind of concept behind it. So, the album itself kind of deals with mythology and the fantastical, especially around the Greek side of things. And I think it's Greek anyway, Atlantis and all that sort of stuff. But it's also the fact that it's really they're labeled, well, not saying by themselves, but they're labeled as extreme metal.
Right.
But when you listen to it, while there are extreme moments of it, you could quite easily argue it's black metal or symphonic black or a mix of, symphonic black and death metal. Do you know what I mean? So there's a lot going on in it. And I found it immensely interesting to listen to, first of all. But it's an album of, I think, epics. That's what it kind of feels like.
But this doesn't have an epic length. 5:07.
It doesn't. No, it doesn't really, but they get a lot into 5 minutes, trust me. They pack a lot in.
Well, I'm pretty much unaware, so let's do this in 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, all right, that's orchestration.
Epic, see?
Yeah. Unexpected.
I love all that traditional instrument.
Oh, wow. I'm a big fan of the back-to-back thing.
Yeah, it's cool.
Taking turns.
I like this kind of distortion around it. Drummer is having it, man.
Yeah. Someone's pissed him off. One-handers. Behave. So two things make that track spectacular. Like, that is an amazingly well put together track. But two things, like, overall, that are like, okay, that's what makes me go, wow. One, obviously, is the atmosphere. The instruments that aren't the standard heavy metal stuff, the symphonic edge and all that. It's dripping and dripping and covered and oozing and all the words you can think of with atmosphere. I get the Atlantis thing, like, when I say dripping, it's like water dripping off a stalagmite. It's that kind of thing. Yeah. It's really, really, really well done. But the other thing, fuck me, is that clean vocalist. Woo, baby. Yeah. Can he sing? That is where the epic comes.
It's the combination as well, because that back, like you said, the back-to-back sitting, but with it's the back-to-back singing, his wonderful singing voice, then with the shout coming in.
And what's really nice is when you often get that, is you don't often get it spaced where one's doing it and then there's a space and any others do it. You often get layering and singing together and all that. And it's not, there's a clear definition between I'm saying something, he's saying another thing. And that really fucking works.
I mean, like I said at the beginning of it, it is epic. Like, I know it's 5 minutes and often we go epic. So we're talking.
No, it is epic.
30 minutes, but it feels massive. Like, it really feels huge. And there's a lot happening. And it's well put together. Like, even though there's a lot going on and it's in a short-ish span of time, I don't feel ever like I'm being overhit with stuff or I'm struggling to hear something here because there's too much happening here. I think it's really well done. Really well done. And the whole album is like that. And that's why it ended up a 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Yeah, that's a great showcase of why it would be a 10 out of 10 album. You are right about nothing being overshadowed. I mean, you talked about the drummer having it. The drummer's spectacular, but there was no part of me that wasn't hearing the guitars. I could hear the hum of the bass. I can hear these vocals clear. I mean, that is a really well-produced fucking song. Like, that's a really well...
You start picking up the triggers as well, don't you? Like, so you'll hear the bit where the guitar goes down, now, and you know that the clean singing's coming. And you start picking up the structure of it. And I mean, it's, like I said, like, what would you say genre-wise? I mean, the build is extreme metal, but I don't think that's right. I think symphonic black or something like that, it's difficult, isn't it?
Of that one track, if someone said to me, oh yeah, well, as you did, this is extreme metal, and then play that track, I'd be a bit like, did you mean the word extreme?
Yeah.
Like, that's the missing portion. It's very hard to categorize. It covers too much areas. I think you're pretty much on it, where it's like, because even symphonic doesn't sound right.
It's not enough, is it?
Symphonic. No. It's not. I'd say
it's almost like black power metal, but with a blackened vibe.
Power, because even I was about to say atmospheric, but I was like, no, it's got way too much going on it to be atmospheric, and it's too not upbeat, because that's the wrong word, but the too high tempo. Everything feels high powered. So you're right, like blackened power Death metal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've created another genre. just what we needed.
I loved it. I loved it. That was that's
It's
awesome,
a great
yeah.
song. It's a fantastic album, and they're a really strong band. And I did notice during the most recent Bloodstock announcements that 3 or 4 people went on there and did their whole band suggesting, and a few people went on there and said, this new band here, because this is their debut album. This is only just out, the debut album.
March 26th.
You know, people should get behind this band. Fingers crossed, once all this stuff is over, we'll see them touring around the UK as well. So,
Bang.
Yeah.
Say no more. Let us know what you think of it in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. You can check us out on gbhbl.com as well as on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and Tumblr. Go to Patreon to help us out over there. That's patreon.com/gbhbl, as well as Big Cartel, where you can find some of our merchandise. We have a podcast running on SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts. And of course, if you like this video, do us a favour, hit the subscribe button and help the channel grow. Games, horror and heavy metal. What else is life for?